What up, everybody? It's your boy G_Money Raiders coming to you with my take about our Oakland Raiders, how the preseason went, how the team looked, and for the future of what the team is going to have to deal with this coming season. So, first part of it, I'm going to get into certain aspects of players. Then I'll talk about the team, and then I'll go over what I think the team should do and how the team is going to look, and reactions onto some of the things that's been going out in the headlines and the news about the team itself. So first, I want to go over the fact about how the team players, certain players, or what's going on. So in the news right now, we got the Janikowski situation. Um, you heard me, I think, in my last video where I talked about Jano, where I thought it was him that missed the field goal, but it was Teresco or Tarico, whatever his name is, the backup kicker, who came in and missed the field goal. But it's getting to a point to where, what do you guys think? Should the Raiders, do something about Jano's salary? Because since he's not going to take a pay cut, that's obvious. There's also reporting that he's got this back injury. I mean, hey, a kicker needs his back in order to get things going as far as generating kicks. So I just want to know what y'all thought process is about that. Should he, shouldn't he? Should they keep him? Should they not keep him? I mean, he's been around since 2000, so he was our number one pick in the 2000 draft. So I just want to throw that out there. You guys know my feeling. I think it's about that time. It's on that edge of like, it's time to move on. So that's my take on that one. The next take is on the running back position. It's solid. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with them. How the way they played, how the way they ran, how things looked as far as each game went by. I'm okay with them. The running back position, hey, good. I think they're ready to go in my book. Quarterback, I'm good. We good with Derek Carr. Everything with Carr is perfect. He's ready to go. He's on point. My only thing with Carr is in the beginning of games, Carr is kind of like, if you look at the beginning of games that he's played, those two games, he's like he's amped up. So some way, somehow, to me, they got to find a way to calm him down so that he can be ready by the game because, I'm going to get into this about the defense later on, but if, we plan on making this run at the Patriots, I'm not talking about the Super Bowl because you still got to get through the Patriots. They are the Super Bowl champions. But if we plan on making this run as we, felt like we could have made this run last year before the, Derek's leg injury, we need to solidify certain things. So my on take and my on look on everything is just this. Look, we got a situation in which our team has to do something as far as getting a backup quarterback. I'm okay with what we have right now, but EJ Manuel doesn't, make me feel comfortable. Now, I could be wrong because he has played behind, and I'm getting ready to talk about this, a suspect offensive line. So I don't have the best grade of EJ Manuel because EJ, if you looked at the situation, he has not played with the number one line. Now, given that, I mean, 2 games he looked good, 2 games he didn't look good. But overall, if I think if you put him in front of that offensive line and with our, true running backs and receivers, who's to say what may turn out and what may be. Connor Cook, he's still a work in progress. I mean, I don't know what too much to say too much about him, but he's still a work in progress. Now, our offensive line, the number ones, great. Now, I liked what I've seen out of Newhouse. Now, the only issue is, he's been playing left tackle this whole time because of Donald Penn being out. Now, with that being said, he has to move over to right tackle. Now, there were some things that I saw in the Dallas game in which he did do some good and he didn't do so good in there. But I just personally think that's because you're transitioning from the left side to the right side. Because as the game progressed and he moved from the right tackle to the left tackle, he looked better at the left tackle position. If you go back and you look at the footage. But I just think over in time, as he keeps getting acclimated to the right side and get his footwork down to the right side, he's got a few weeks now to get that, down by, being on the right side and playing solely on the right side. So I think that'll handle and fix its own self in its own process. But the backups, a little suspect because, like I said, we had some guys that were in the preseason and, that Seahawks and that Cowboys defensive line started putting pressure on our number ones on our backups in those situations because the D coordinators start coming in and blitzing, knowing that, these rookie offensive linemen weren't quite ready for the, certain defensive schemes that were being put out and blitzes that were put out and thrown at them. So there were a lot of missed blocks in those situations. But I believe Mike Tice will get that solidified with these guys. Hopefully they'll get certain things taken care of and, being able to get certain things done. On the wide receiver position, great as far as the number ones. I know they're all ready to go. Cooper, Crabtree, Patterson. I'm looking for, and our boy Seth. Kudos to Seth, man, because I did not realize and I didn't know that last year he had the double hernia and he played through that through the whole season. Because I was a very, very, very avid on his ass about, how come he was catching certain balls but dropping other balls. So, I'm not excusing it, but I'm saying I understand now because if you had a hernia, which I have, that's no joke, man. That is no joke. So, he had a double hernia. So, with that being said, I'm looking to see, how some of our backup receivers are going to come out. Johnny Holton did good. I was, really happy for him. All the other guys, KJ Brent and the other guys, I know KJ Brent is probably going to come back and be on the practice squad. We'll see how that turns out. So that's pretty much how the way that, goes for the offensive side of the ball. Defensive side, this is the side that I really want to talk about because I've been getting things that I write on Twitter and people have been, kind of giving me feedback saying that the D is, our D is our problem. And the one thing that I always come back to them and say to them about our defense is this is the second year this defense is going to be together. And also the second year in which the defense is coming in with different players. Now, what people to me are not understanding that on defense, because the league is predicated to offense. It's not defensive friendly. It is offensive friendly. So we have to remember that. Now, with that being said, in order for a defense to really be well and playing well, it has to have its same core players each and every year. So this is the second year. Remember, last year was Bruce Irving's first year. Last year was Sean Smith's first year. Last year was Reggie Nelson's first year. Last year was Carl Joseph's rookie year. You understand what I'm saying? So the point that I'm making is we don't have the DJ Haydens. We don't have right now the Keith McGills. And we don't have the other guys that are in here running this defense like the way that Ken Norton want to do. Now, I understand everybody wants Ken Norton head. But Ken Norton just calls a play. He don't go out and execute the play. So I understand coaches have to coach. But players have to execute in order to make the coach look good, look decent. Now, like I said, this is the same defense that we had last year that we went 12-4 with. 12-4. Now, I understand that they were giving up big chunk yardage. I understand that they were giving up big plays. But in the end, nobody wants to talk about how they were, if I'm not mistaken, number 2 in the league, if not number 1 in takeaways. That's what helped the team go 12-4 last year because they came up big in big moments when it was needed. A la Khalil Mack in the Carolina game. A la Khalil Mack in the Buffalo game. A la Khalil Mack and the crew in the Tennessee game. It was the defense that came up in those type of games. I mean, it's going to take time for this defense to gel. You can't keep bringing in different players and expect a different result or a greater result when the team itself, the defense itself, has to learn a new defense last year and learning a different defense and learn how to communicate with John Picano being in here. So my whole deal is to my Raider Nation and my Raider Nation family. Give this D a minute. It's going to be okay. They're going to be all right. You have to think about last year. We went 12-4. I mean, I keep hearing all these people talking about, oh, we're going to step back and go 8-8 or 7-9. And it's like, wow. So you're telling me that they're going to lose 4 to 5 games, because you're saying the defense doesn't look good to you this year and you're going off preseason games? Look, you are what you are. Now, in preseason last year, they went 2-2. But was that indicative of what the defense was going to turn out to be? No. Nobody didn't realize what the defense was going to turn out to be. But yet, like I'm saying this now. The defense will be fine. Yes. Do they need to get a middle linebacker? Yes. But you got to play what you have for right now. That's the whole deal. And we're getting ready to come up in a minute, Raider Nation, of being the first team ever to have a quarterback that makes $20+ million, and then with Khalil Mack coming up, a defensive player that's going to be $20 million. That's going to be the first to ever happen in NFL history, where you got an offensive player making 20 and a defensive player making 20. So the Raiders got to manage this money how the way they can and work things out the way they can possibly happen. We've never ever been in this type of category. We've always had one person on the defensive side to be able to have the money. Richard Seymour, Tommy Kelly, you remember those guys? We never really had one on the offense. Well, we did, but look at what happened with Jamarcus Russell. When you gave him all that money, he turned out to be crap, plain and simple. So all I'm saying is our defense will be just fine. They will be just fine. Now, yes, I'm going to say it again. Do I believe we need to have a middle linebacker? Yes, I'm a firm believer we do. But at the same time, as this goes, you build through the draft, you get yourself together through the draft so that you don't run into the fact of the matter of what any other team is getting ready to run to, bar any injury or anything. But what we're getting ready to run into is having 2 players that's going to make some big money. So we're going to fork out some big money here, because we already forked out big money to make this offensive line. So then you have Donald Penn, who wants more money. Now you got Seabass don't want to take a pay cut, because if he feels like, hey, I've been here since the beginning. So I'm just saying to my people, I love you guys. I love everybody. I love the Raiders. That's my team. Been my team since 1983, the last time we won the Super Bowl. So I just want to say, look, we have to be patient. I understand. Trust me. It's very frustrating to see some things that take place on defense. But the one thing I will always say and I always look at is every time Tom Brady and them have played, and during the regular season, they've always bombed everybody during the regular season. But when it came, and certain playoff time, but when it came down to the Super Bowl, if you look at every single one of their Super Bowl victories, every single one of them, it's always came down to 3 points or less. 3 points or less. I want you to go back and look at that. They weren't dominating everybody in the Super Bowl and killing everybody in the Super Bowl. Hell, this past Super Bowl should tell you they were down 28-3. They came back to win it by 6 points. By 6 points. Yeah, I know the extra point, but it's by 6 points. I mean, if you really think about that. So all I'm saying is we have to be very mindful of what we have, that we have something very, very special this coming season and this upcoming season. I just don't feel like the Raiders were going to be bad this season like everybody else is trying to point out. I just don't see it. The only thing we did was we went 3-3 in our division. We lost 2 games to Kansas City, 1 game against Denver, swept San Diego, okay? And then that's right there. So if you lose 2 games to Kansas City, 1 game to Denver, and you lose to Atlanta, that's your 4 losses right there. That's it. That's it. Well, besides, losing our quarterback, but those are only losses that we really have. So, I mean, all I gotta say to my buddies and my team and my fans and my Raider Nation, Raider family is we have to calm down for a minute and let the season play out the way it plays out. I mean, we can't be like, I don't want us to be like Carolina. You go to the Super Bowl and the next year, boom, you can't even make the playoffs. I want to consistently make the playoffs. That's all I want to see this team do is consistently make the playoffs. So, like I said, that's my whole take on the whole situation, on this team, what takes place. All I want is this defense is to be solid. Not to be number 20. I want them to be somewhere in the top 20. If they can get to at least 18, 19, or 17, or 16, that is an improvement from last year, which will make this defense be even more scarier, which then will make this team even more scarier. If they can just be in the top teens somewhere, 19, 18, 17, 16, I don't care where that is, I will take it. So, as always, you know me, go on and comment down there, like, subscribe. I love it. I love it. I love it. And by the way, I want to thank everybody who comes over and watch my channel. I have officially made past 20 subscribers. I'm happy for myself. Y'all can laugh about my 20 subscribers, but I got my 20 subscribers. That's what I was pushing for, and I got them. So I'm very, very, very happy. I have been only doing this for a short period of time, but in that short period of time, it's been my pleasure to work with you and talk with you. So, like I said, like, comment, subscribe. Don't matter what order it's in. Just do either one. This your boy G_Winnie Raiders signing off with my take. And let's go Raiders. Let's try to make this playoff run once again and make this team great. See y'all through the season. Y'all know I'll be here every week. Later.